9 till 5. Hey guys, it's me, Dicers. If you didn't know what Scaping 9 till 5 is, it's a series where I do money-making methods within old school RuneScape and treat them as a real-life job for a single day, and then I take the results from that day to find out what the salary would be like both in RuneScape and in real life, theoretically, don't actually real-world trade. We're currently doing a wilderness... This season of Scaping 9 till 5's jobs are all in the wilderness. The last job was in the wilderness, I done dark crabs, it was pretty exciting, believe it or not you should go watch that video before you watch this one. And now we're on the hunt for another job. About time, haha, okay, we get it, okay? Shut up. And I'm willing to bet any second now I'm about to be interrupted by an NPC.
Hey, you wanna buy a cape?
What? Yeah, you're selling Inferno capes?
No.
Then why would I want to buy some random ass cape?
I don't know. I have all these capes in my sack and there's no one to buy them anymore.
Anymore? People used to buy these crappy wilderness capes?
Well, they did, but this big spider showed up and started scaring and killing all my customers.
Oh, that's what those corpses are. I thought you were just like a creep.
Oh, yeah, those. Yeah, that definitely came from the spider.
Okay, well, it was nice talking to you, dude. I'm gonna go now.
No, wait. You could help me.
Help you how?
I'd really appreciate it if you take care of this spider problem for me. And make it worth your while.
Okay, fine, yeah. Slaying Venenatis as a 9 till 5 job. Okay, intro time. Click. Click. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Sponsor time, Black Desert Online. You've probably heard of this game and heard of its insane graphics, but if you haven't heard of this, the game has some insane graphics. But come on guys, think of the game for more than just its really attractive graphics. Get a hold of yourself. It's a beautifully designed game with a beautiful real-time action-based combat system never seen before in any other MMORPG. Its character creation system is the best in the business, and it has over 19 different classes to choose from, each one of them being unique with a unique set of skills and abilities. Combine that with frequent large-scale expansion updates and smaller content updates, and you will never get bored of this game. So what are you waiting for? There's a free 7-day trial for anyone who clicks the link in the description and checks out this game. And if you've played the game in the past but not in the last 30 days, you've got some welcome back gifts waiting for you. TY, Black Desert Online for sponsoring this 9 till 5 episode. Venenatis. It's one of the many wilderness bosses that you kind of have to glitch out if you want to fight it effectively. In fact, there's a lot of wilderness bosses that the only good way to actually fight the boss is to glitch it out so it can't fight you. Do some weird movements so it can't fight back. If that's the only viable way to fight these wilderness bosses is to glitch them out, you've made bad bosses, Jagex. Fix these goddamn pieces of sh. Venenatis has 3 viable safe spots. The one you just saw down to the south, this one in the north, but there's another one, a newer one that's cropped up recently. It's the safe spot at its spawn point, and I'm going to be using this safe spot because it's definitely the best safe spot for Venenatis. You get it right at its spawn point, there's no setup time, or there is, but it's very little. Sometimes it's a little bit iffy, but that's a rare occasion. The only downside is that it actually is pretty hard to do. I need to learn how to do it consistently. So over the weekend before starting this 9 till 5, I done a couple of hours of much needed practice, practicing the safe spot and just being around Venenatis and not learning its mechanics and how it moves and all this stuff. It's all pretty handy, and also dodging PKers. If I can get it out of my system now, maybe I won't die during the 9 till 5. So I'm going to very badly describe how the safe spot works. This isn't a guide on how to do the safe spot. I used Small XP Lamp's video on how to do it. That helped me. So go find a guide if you want to use this safe spot. But the basic rundown is Venenatis spawns in the middle of its spider webs, and to the west is the multi-combat zone where you have to loot it so it takes more damage. So for this safe spot, you stand on a specific tile to the west. When it spawns, it looks at you, you then attack it 4 times, move to a tile to the southeast, keep attacking it, and it's safe spotted for some reason. That works. But then you can move a little bit further east to get into the single zone, so you're in a single zone, but Venenatis is in a multi-zone, so it takes more damage, but if PKers log in, you will only get attacked by a single PKer. That was an insanely simplified version of the safe spot. It's actually way more complicated, and it took literally like an hour or 2 for me to finally get it down in order to do it. The timings, you have to just get the perfect timing, otherwise it just doesn't work, and it's insanely infuriating for anyone who's learned this safe spot knows it's insanely frustrating. So go watch an actual guide. Okay, I'm geared up and ready to do the shift of Venenatis 9 till 5. The inventory setup is a looting bag, royal seed pod, and home teleport tabs the looting bag obviously for the loot, the Royal Seed Pod for the one-click instant teleport at level 30 Wilderness or below, and the home tabs just for getting into my playground house using the rejuve pool, then the jewellery box to get back to the Corp Cave to then run to Venenatis, with 2 ranging pots which I eventually upgraded to divine ranging pots, a stamina pot, an anti-poison plus pot, a couple of restores and a couple of brews, with some sharks on the side. And my gear setup is pretty cheap, but that's because I don't want to lose a bunch of GP when I die, because that would mess up the math at the end, and I've not spent much time in the wilderness in general, so I'm not completely confident in my abilities to escape PKers. Learn by doing, and I haven't learned by doing. I haven't died much to PKers, except when doing a clue scroll every now and then. I've got an Archer's Helm, which I eventually upgraded to a Guthix Coif, but then on the same trip I upgraded, I die and lose it, so I go back to the Archer's Helm. That's a bit of a sad story. I've got the Ava's Accumulator, not the Assembler, because I've only got one Assembler, and if I die I don't want to go back to Vorkath to get another one. I've got a Glory, I've got Black Dragon Hide, I've got Snakeskin Boots, and obviously the Crossbow, which is charged with Ether constantly. Very expensive. Again, I could upgrade all this stuff. I could put on God D-Hide, I could get an Anguish, I could get Pegasians out, but I would lose a fair amount of GP if I got PK'd. Even with 3 items protected and using the Protection Prayer for a 4th item protected, I'd still lose a couple of 100k with the rest items, God D-Hide and stuff. And we're off. Let the job begin. I also have an Ancient Blessing, as you can see. It's a fairly hefty run to the boss, and if PKs log in and teleblock you, you're going to have to run south to get out of dodge, so there's a lot of running involved, so that's why the stamina pot is pretty useful. As you can see, I've got my tiles marked, ready to do the safe spot. This back tile here that I'm walking on right now, it's where you run to reset the boss if you set it up wrong, so they're pretty handy things to have. It's a bit OP, and someone's using this world safe spotting. I'm in a crap safe spot, not the best one. Start the clock, we've found Venenatis. Now it's time to see if practicing this safe spot was actually worthwhile. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be. So when his blue box is over those 2 tiles and he looks at you, you attack him, stood on this tile, and then you hit 4 times, 3, 4, run down quickly, try not miss a tick, try not miss a beat in your attacking. If you miss a beat, then he resets, then you run east a little bit more, and boom, I'm in the single zone, he's in the multi-zone. This is how you do it. It's actually pretty chill once you get set up. I just gotta watch out for PKers now. Dragon two-handed sword, very first kill. That's pretty cool. Being able to do this safe spot over and over again consistently, it's a very rewarding feeling, because it's some sort of stupid tick manipulation stuff where you have to click on them on the right tick so you attack at the very right moment, so then for some reason it bugs it out. It's like bug abuse. This is a genuine bug abuse system. Look at this. He's just looking at me. There's nothing in our way, and he's not fighting me. And I get to farm it. It's so insane that this exists. But the boss is so bad that no one wants to fight it if you can't safe spot it. The boss sucks. Redesign these goddamn wilderness bosses. 3rd kill, magic logs. It's pretty good so far. Oh, Onyx Bolt Tips. I've just started the trip, I've already got Onyx Bolt Tips. This is a 20-minute trip. What's my looting bag? 900k in 20 minutes. Holy crap, very nice. Keep this up and I will be happy. Oh, it spawned in the wrong place. It's so annoying. Sometimes it spawns like a tile off. 90% of the time it spawns on those 2 tiles, which is perfect, but sometimes it spawns a tile off and it's a bit troll. You've run out of ether. No. Oh, there's the first skull I've seen in a while. They had Zerishian robes on or something, but I should hop just in case. It's usually Mystics. People in Mystics are the only people who can attack me. Everyone else below Mystic robes are usually... Oh, there's people here too. There's people here too. Ho, ho, ho. Let's go, baby. Oh my. I was having a freaking amazing time. I was getting amazing drops constantly, listening to AC/DC, having a few beers, just having an overall fantastic time doing this wilderness boss. Who would have thought? I wouldn't have thought, but sadly nothing lasts forever, and my amazing run didn't last very long, because when the PKers logged in, I was running into the multi-zone. They caught me, they froze me in the multi-zone, so they both were able to declaw spec me, and I died. It's a bit unfortunate. As the hours go by, it's been about 4 or 5 hours, more PKers have started to log in. The day advances, people are getting home from school, home from work. More PKers are around right now, and that's only going to increase as we continue. We're about 5 hours into this 9 till 5, which means it is time for bonus facts. Did you know that Larry, the NPC at the start of this video, is one of 10 cape merchants in the wilderness? You've got William, who sells number 1 capes, Ian number 2, Larry 3, Darren 4, Edward 5, Richard 6, Neil 7, Edmund 8, Simon 9, and Sam 10. Wilderness is a 10-letter word. There are 10 cape merchants. There are 10 different patterns, and there is 10 types of each colour of cape. And the cape merchants' names, going from 1 through 10 in order of the capes they sell, their initials spell wilderness. William, Ian, Larry, Darren, Edward, Richard, Neil, Edmund, Simon, and Sam. Wilderness. It's a big conspiracy. What does it mean? Nothing. And when the team capes first came out, the pink ones were actually white, but they were getting confused with the Legends capes, so they changed them to pink capes. And bonus fact, those cape merchants in RuneScape 3 are also bankers. That's just OP. Oh wait, I can log out. Yes. This piece of dog, he logs into my world, he's like, hey, you the YouTube guy, and like treats me really nicely and it makes me happy, but then he ruins his safe spot and he's a scumbag and I hate him. That's a joke, by the way. Yay, more Onyx Bolt tips. We're about 6 hours in, we're almost done. Oh, treasonous ring. Too bad it's like 400k. Worthless crap. Oh no. Luckily, I'm in a single way zone. There's 3 of them, but only one of them can attack me. Oh man, there's so many PKs. I've actually been PK'd twice. I lost the footage of the second PK. I'm not just saying that because I don't want to show the embarrassment. I was in a single zone, I got specced out. I don't know, I just died. I've died twice now. This is the last kill of the 8 hours. Are we going to get anything good? Nope. Just coins. Boring old coins. Let's get the hell out of Dodge and find out how much profit we've made in this 8-hour shift. This is our Venenatis loot in 8 hours. We've made 11.2 million GP. That's actually pretty decent and a lot more than I was expecting from this 9 till 5, but we haven't included the cost of supplies, and the cost of supplies we have done it also includes the cost of getting PK'd, because I wouldn't lose much when I died getting PK'd. I didn't risk much, but I took a screenshot of my Venenatis tab beforehand, which included all the gear and potions I use, and I took a screenshot after the fact, and the total amount of costs in this shift is 3.1 million GP. Yes, that is a lot of GP, and about 2.8 mil of that GP comes from 2 items, only 2 items, Revenant Ether and Super Restore Potions. Those are the 2 items that cost 2.8 mil. The rest came in other potions, brews, and the Black D'hide and some of the gear that I lost. That's a lot of supplies used. And that brings our profit to a nice round 8 million GP in a single 8-hour shift, which brings it down to 1 million GP per hour on average. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that if I continue to do this as if it actually were my real job day after day after day after day after day, I would increase this profit by a fairly tremendous amount. The more I do it, the more I know how to escape the PKers, the better I am at it, and the less supplies I use, the less times I get PK'd. Eventually I'd upgrade to like Blessed, Dragon Hide and stuff like that for more prayer bonus, which means I'd use less supplies, which means I would save even more money. I think over time, the more confident I get at this, I would improve the GP per hour. But I made 1 mil per hour today, so that's a math I'm going to use to go forward to find out the salary. It's worth noting that I got 170 kills in this 8 hours. That's pretty impressive. That averages out to about 21 kills per hour, which is a lot of kills per hour. I think if I wasn't using this insane safe spot and doing something else, that it would be much lower. That safe spot is pretty powerful. With a crossbow, you just melt Venenatis. So I made 8 million GP profit in a day, which means I average out at 1 million GP profit per hour. And at the moment, 1 million GP translates roughly to about 66 cents. It's not very much. Which means the daily wage, the 8 million GP, translates to $5.28 per day. After 1 week of doing this for 5 days, 9 till 5, like a Western world job, we'd make 40 million GP, which is about $26.40, and after 1 month, about 22 working days in a month, I'd make 176 million GP, which is $116.16. And the big boy yearly salary after doing this for 12 months, it's about 160 or so working days in a year, I'd make 2,088 mil GP, which translates to $1,378. A yearly salary of $1,000? Hell no. And that is it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, and shout out to every single channel member. I really appreciate the support, guys. And special shout out to Dimsky, Nemo M, Luke, Deranged, Tamashi, Scarmex, Mr. Granley, Vicken, and the Bearded Jake for being tier 2 supporters and giving me an unnecessary amount of money that is still helpful in life. Thank you very much.